Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Anne. Today we're gonna do this radiant summer spring look with peachy tones, nude lips, and natural complexion. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please do so. Also, make sure to click the bell below so that you can get updated when I post new videos. If you would like to see how I did this look, then let's jump to the video. So to start off with, I did apply moisturizer and I primed my face already. I used the It Cosmetics Bye Bye Pores primer. And what I did is I just pressed it onto my pores, onto the areas of my face that do have some texture. So I just pushed it like so and spread it all over my skin. And then for my base, I'm gonna use a tinted moisturizer. This is from Aveda. It's their mineral tinted moisture in the shade Beechwood. I'm gonna just grab just a dollop of that product, put it on the back of my hand, and I'm gonna dot it all over my face. And then I will blend this out with a beauty blender in a second. So I'm gonna grab my clean, damp beauty blender and I'm just gonna dot it, like stamp it like this all over my skin. You can use a brush as well if you'd like. And I'm gonna apply this one just up to right here. So once we're done with the tinted moisturizer, I'm gonna follow up with my spot concealing. I'm gonna use the Too Faced Born This Way multi-use sculpting concealer. It looks like this, and my shade is Porcelain. I'm just gonna apply about this much on the back of my hand and then dip my fingers on the product and then just tap it on my skin. So I like focusing on the areas where I do have some excess pigmentation, discoloration, and such. So for the look that I'm gonna do today, I would do very light on the skin because I want the skin to still show through and I want more of like a glowy natural finish. I'm just gonna spot conceal, and my goal is to not really cover those spots too much. I just want them to look a little faded because I still want the skin to show through. Alright, so once we've tapped the concealer with our fingers on the spots where we need to, I'm just gonna grab my beauty blender that I used earlier and I'm going to tap everything in place. That is to make sure that all of the products melt on my skin, and also you don't want any obvious demarcation lines from your concealer and your tinted moisturizer. So you want to make sure that you will not detect where you've placed the concealer. So tapping a beauty blender on top of everything just helps with cohesiveness. So I haven't concealed under my eyes yet because I do want to put a brightening concealer under there. So I'm going to use the Neutrogena Healthy Skin Brightening Eye Perfector. This is really good. It's hydrating and it does have about medium coverage. The shade is Fair, number 5. And like what I did earlier, I'm also gonna apply that in the back of my hand and then tap it underneath my eyes and then follow up with a beauty blender. So you just wanna tap it underneath the eyes, like so. And then I'm gonna follow up with my beauty blender. I really like this concealer. It also has SPF 25, so it's great for summer, or if you like using sunscreen around your eye area. It's really hard to find a sunscreen for the under eye area that doubles as a concealer as well, so this is a great option. Alright, so for the next step, I'm going to use a cream bronzer. So I find that cream bronzers are better than powder in a sense that they do look really natural on the skin. So for my bronzer, I'm going to use the Huda Beauty Tantour in the shade Light. It looks like this. To apply this one, I'm going to use a dome-shaped brush. It's a medium-sized brush that is perfect for contouring. It fits the side of your cheek perfectly. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tap the brush on the product and just tap it right here on the top of my cheekbone, like so. I'm gonna tap it right here as well on the temple, and then I'm gonna apply it right here as well, like right under my jaw. So I'm gonna just blend everything until I see that there's no obvious harsh line. And the key to doing your contour right here on the forehead is to make sure that you really push it close to your hairline. That way you will not see like any, like here you can see like my skin is lighter there. So you really want to blend that there so that it looks like you're just bronzing from within naturally. And what I do is I really avoid doing swirling motions when it comes to my bronzer, because I don't want to disturb the base, the tinted moisturizer or foundation that I have underneath. And doing tapping motions like this helps blend the product, prevents it from blending out too much. So you just concentrate the blend on the side of your cheek. So it should look like this after we apply the bronzer. Before I move on to the next step, I would get my beauty blender again, the one that we've been using, and just to go over my cream bronzer once more to make sure that the blend is really smooth and even. Especially here on the jawline, you want to make sure that you're taking it down and blending it with the rest of your neck. So once you're happy with the blend, you can move on with the next step. So for the next step, I'm gonna grab my cream highlight and cream blush. So for my cream blush and highlight, I'm gonna use the Kosas Velvet Melon Color and Light Cream. And this is in the high intensity version. So this color is like a nice peach, warm peach. So I'm gonna grab the highlight first and I'm gonna apply it right here on the top of my cheek. You can see that's really pretty. I find that this is the first time that I'm using this product, and I like that it doesn't have a lot of like glitter in it. It's more like really fine pearl reflect, and it does give a nice dewy look to the skin. I like that effect. And right here, I'm gonna apply it on this side as well. So these are the most of the parts that I do highlight. Right here on the top of the cheek, on the inner corner, a little bit on the cupid's bow, and on the chin. There. And then to even blend that further, you can use your beauty blender and just tap that on the top of the highlight, like so. And then I'm gonna follow up with the blush. So I'm gonna use my fingers again and just layer this on top of the highlight, like so. I'm gonna focus this on just on the cheek, apple of the cheek area, overlapping it with the bronzer and the highlight ever so lightly so that they will blend really nice together. So after that, I'm gonna take my beauty blender and just help blend that even more. Alright, so for the next step, I'm gonna set my under eye concealer and I'm gonna powder the rest of my face. I'm gonna show you what products I'm gonna use. So for under eyes, you wanna make sure that your concealer is blended nicely. So you want to make sure that there are no creases underneath the eyes. So I'm tapping everything with a beauty blender just to smoothen everything. And then I'm going to use the Mercier translucent powder using a highlight brush like this. It's just a dome shape, medium size brush. And I'm gonna just take a little bit of that product, tap off any excess, and I'm just gonna apply it right underneath the eyes, just focusing under the eyes, anywhere where I did put concealer. There you go. And then for the rest of my face, I'm gonna set my makeup with a radiant powder. So I'm gonna use the Too Faced Soft Focus powder. This is from the new palette that they came out with. And I'm gonna use the center color right here. I'm in the shade medium, so I'm just gonna apply that all over my face with a light brush. This is the Morphe Jaclyn Hill JH04, and this is really nice and fluffy. It's very light, so it's not going to deposit as much coverage. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to tap it all over the skin because I just want to give a soft focus glow on my skin. So my goal is to just set the skin ever so lightly so that all the cream products will stay put on my skin. So I'm just tapping that all over my skin like so. Just a touch. Okay, so once everything is set, I'm just going to intensify my highlight using the same palette that I used earlier. I'm going to use the shade Glow. And I'm going to apply that right here, just on top of the areas where we did use the highlight earlier. There you go. I did my eyebrows and this other eye off camera, and now I'm going to show you how we can get this look that I'm doing. So for my primer, I'm going to apply my favorite. This is the Too Faced Shadow Insurance. I'm just going to tap this all over my eyelid. And I'm also going to apply this one on my lower lid because we're going to apply some product right there. Alright. So now that everything is tapped evenly, I'm gonna use my Baby Got Peach palette from ColourPop. It looks like this. So for my transition, I'm gonna use the soft peach color in the palette. It's called Darlin'. It looks like this. And I'm gonna apply that all over my crease for my transition. And I'm going to focus the product mostly on my outer, the outer area of my eyes right here. I'll take it in a little bit just to blend it out, but most of the color will be on the outside part of my eye. And then I'm going to grab a smaller brush. This is from Morphe. It's just a smaller dome-shaped brush. And I'm gonna apply the shade called Perky, which is this like warmer peach color, and I'm gonna apply that right on the outside corner of my eye. I'm just blending it as I go. You want to make sure that there are no line of separation from the first shade and the second shade. And for you to ensure that everything is well blended, you can grab the first brush that I use, and I'm just gonna buff the edges out of the second shade, like so. And then for the outer corner, I'm gonna use the same brush, and I'm gonna apply the same brush that I used for the second shade, the smaller dome brush, and I'm gonna use Half Baked, which is a terracotta color like this, and this is the darkest shade in the palette. You can use whatever palette you have, because these colors are pretty common anyways among eyeshadow palettes, so you can use what you have. So I'm just focusing the color on the outside corner, and then I'm gonna use my blending brush just to blend everything out. There you go. So now that when you're happy with the blend, you can move on with your lower lash line colors. So for my lower lash line, I'm gonna use a dense brush, a dense short brush like this. So if you see the difference, that's how small it is. It still blends, but it packs the color a little bit more, and it's more concentrated. Like the color is more saturated when you pick it up with a brush like this. I'm gonna use Perky, which is the mid-tone shade that we used. Just under the eyes. And then I'm gonna use the darkest shade that we use, Half Baked, just on the outer edges of my eye, like so. And you want to keep blending everything until you don't see any like harsh edges. So I'm gonna grab my blender. I'm just gonna blend everything in place. All right. So for the main lid color, I will grab a smaller brush that's more flat, looks like this, and I'm gonna apply glaze on the outer area of my eye, and then I'm gonna use this shade right here and this shade on the main lid. So I'm gonna start with Glaze It. I'm gonna apply that on the outer area first. That way there's some really nice dimension on the eyes. And then I'm gonna use Ready or Yet, which is the lightest, like a light peach. It's like a peachy champagne gold. I'm gonna apply that on the inner part, and then with my finger, I'm just gonna tap the shade Get Even, which is an orangey gold shade. I'm just gonna apply this right here on the center and tap with my brush there. And then for my eyeliner, I'm gonna use, because I want something a little bit brighter, something to brighten up my eyes, so I'm gonna use the Tarte Fake Awake. I'm just gonna apply it on the inner rim of my eyes. So you can use any like white or flesh toned eyeliner on your inner rim. This way it will open up your eyes so much more. I'm gonna apply some highlight, inner corner highlight, from the Too Faced palette that I used earlier, and I'm gonna do my lashes off camera and I'll be right back. Lastly, so for my lips, I'm gonna use 3 products. For my lip liner, I'm gonna use the shade Honeymoon from Morphe. I'm gonna use my KKW Nude on top of that, and then for gloss, I'm gonna use my McGrath Dare to Bare gloss. All the products will be listed down below for your reference. So I'm gonna get started with just lip liner. I'm just gonna go over my natural lip ever so slightly. Before this, I already applied some lip balm, like prior, like about 30 minutes prior. And then I'm just gonna apply this ever so lightly, massaging it outside the lines of my lips, because I want a little bit powderier look. And I find that my top lip is smaller than my lower lip, so to compensate, I always slightly overline my lips. This shade is really nice for like peachy looks because it's dark enough to really contour the lips, but it's not that harsh, you know. It's still complementary to my skin tone. So for my lipstick, I'm gonna apply just a touch of my KKW Nude lipstick in the shade 1. This is really light for me, but I find that it does highlight my lips. I do like the contrast that it gives my liner. So I'm just gonna blot my lips like this. And then I will go back to the lip liner just to blend everything together. Okay, and then on top, I'm gonna use my Lush Gloss in Path McGrath Dare to Bare, and this will really pull off the look together. This color is like a nudie peach. It's really pretty. It's super reflective. Okay, there you go. So that's the finished look. I hope you guys like it. Thank you so much for watching my video. Make sure you thumbs up, comment, let me know what other videos you would like to see of me in the future. I really appreciate the time that you took to watch my video, and I hope to see you guys soon. Bye.